First case I'd like to look at is a rogue access point. An AP onto your network happens all the time. What you'll see here is that WatchGuard did an excellent job both detecting and blocking within 1 second. Ryan, would you mind giving us a quick demo of what we're talking about with the rogue AP, please?
Absolutely, Robert. It'd be my pleasure. We've got a switch. Nothing fancy here. There are 3 access points currently plugged into the switch, these 3 black cables. Those access points are an Aruba access point right here, a Meraki access point over here, and a WatchGuard access point right here. They are all on the exact same network. And as you may know, a rogue access point is a PCI violation instantly. So I'm going to create a rogue access point with a properly colored red cable. Danger, danger. Now what I'm plugging in here, if you can see this little white device in my hand, that's an Apple Airport Express. Purchased, right off of an e-commerce website. Nothing done to it, right? Took it out of the package, and we literally plugged it in. We've programmed it to produce an SSID called Matthews Wi-Fi Network. Something inconspicuous, right? We don't want it to be called your rogue Wi-Fi. But anyways, this cable, as you can kind of see it travel down, right? It's plugged into the exact same switch as the rest of our access points. So when I plug this in, it's going to create our rogue AP on our wired network. There we go. We've just attacked the network. We've basically cabled in to your private network, and now we can be connected to Matthew's Wi-Fi network from out across the street, outside the building, and we could have potentially have access to your credit card data environment, your private network, anything on your local LAN. So now what we'll do is we'll switch away from the webcam, and I'll show you my screen so we can look at the dashboards for those 3 vendors and see if anyone's detected the rogue access point. The first dashboard that we'll take a look at is the Cisco Meraki dashboard. And it looks like it's up and live now. Okay, so you should all be able to see my screen. This is the Meraki Air Marshal dashboard, accessed right here under Wireless Air Marshal. And what we should see, right, is under Rogue SSIDs, we should see that Matthews Wi-Fi network, which is being broadcasted from my Rogue access point, show up. We'll give it a second here. Make sure we refresh the page. No Rogue SSIDs are detected so far, but we do have 52 other SSIDs. And I'll just change the SSIDs per page here to get it a little bit bigger. And I'll do a Control F here to see if Matthew is showing. There he is. So Matthew's Wi-Fi network is an other SSID, meaning it's just a neighboring SSID. So by that terminology, that distinction, that means it's not connected to your private network, but it actually is. Let's switch over to the Aruba access points. We've got we're logged directly into the Aruba AP. And we clicked on Intrusion Detection System here, the IDS. We've got a table of SSIDs here that are being detected by the Aruba access points. And we have a classification here in this column. And so if I scroll around, or instead of scrolling, I suppose I could do a Control F again, looking for Matthew. Here he is. Matthew's Wi-Fi network is classified as interfering. So an interfering access point or interfering SSID is just a neighbor SSID. It means it's not connected to your private network, but it actually is. And let's go ahead and switch over to, this is the WatchGuard Wi-Fi Cloud. There's a section called Monitoring and Security. We can see the list of access points here. I'll just refresh the page. And there we go. We've got there are two red entries here, both from Apple, right? So it's a rogue access points physically connected to our private network. There's 2 of them because the first one is our 5 gigahertz radio and the second one is our 2.4 gigahertz radio inside of the Apple Airport Express. So that was properly detected as a rogue access point and being actively quarantined right now, so no one could associate to that rogue access point. It's neutralizing the threat completely. There was no manual intervention required here, right? I just plugged the cable in, and it was automatically detected. So this highlights, a very good reason to have your Wi-Fi tested against the Trusted Wireless Environment Framework. What we just did here, and the reason why we picked an Apple Airport Express, is because it can bypass most vendors' rogue AP detection algorithms. Because, remember from my first comment at the beginning of this webinar, how does the technology detect whether an IP address or a MAC address actually has an 802.11 radio? Many vendors do something called MAC address correlation, where they correlate the SSID's MAC address, it's called a BSSID, and the physical Ethernet MAC address. And if those two numbers are very far apart, they're considered not on the network. If they're pretty close together, then they're considered on the network and classified as rogue. Well, guess what? The Apple Airport Express ships factory defaults with those numbers pretty far apart. So it bypasses most vendors' rogue AP detection. It's an instant PCI violation if you plug in an Apple Airport Express. So anyways, just wanted to show the audience that. That was one of the Miercom tests here for the 6 that Robert's going to go through. With that, thank you all for that little demo there. Robert, I'm going to hand it back to you to continue on with the rest of our threats discussion here.